What's the best city to live in near Charlotte? Stay tuned. All right, guys, my name is Josh, and I'm with the Finigan Group, your favorite Charlotte realtor. And I'm sure you saw our last video where we reviewed the 10 worst suburbs around the Charlotte area. And if not, I'll put the link in the description below. This time, we'll be reviewing some of the best suburbs in the Charlotte area. And again, suburbs will be like the cities around Charlotte, not necessarily the neighborhoods in Charlotte. All right, guys, in order to do that, we're going to be looking at the community information on niche.com. We're going to be looking at the grade of the community, the grade of the schools. We're going to be looking at the median price range in the area. And on top of that, we're going to be looking at the average drive times that you may see from the suburb into the Charlotte area. All right, guys, first up on the list is going to be Davidson, North Carolina. This is a super cool town north of Charlotte. It's on the banks of Lake Norman. There's definitely a lot to do there. They have Davidson College there. They have a nice, cool little downtown Davidson area with a lot of shops, a lot of dining. So Niche gave the public schools an A. They gave housing an A-, A+, good for families. The overall grade for Davidson is an A+. Now, let's look at the median price range. In Davidson, the overall median price range is $415,500. Now, if we just look at single-family detached homes, the median price range in Davidson is $822,500. When we compare that to the greater Charlotte area, the median price range for a single-family home in the greater Charlotte area is going to be $360,000. So it is well above the price range that you tend to find for the Charlotte area. If we look at some of the homes that are available, there's one over on June Watcham Road. It's over right in Davidson. You're going to see it's a brand new build. It's listed as $775,000. It's 3,100 square feet, 3-bed, 2.5 bath, and about 0.4 acres. So let's look at drive time. Right now, to get to Charlotte from Davidson, it's going to be about 27 minutes, which we are in the middle of the day. We're at 1 p.m. right now. If you're leaving at 8 a.m. to get to Charlotte from Davidson, you're going to find it's going to take between 24 to 40 minutes. And if you're coming back to Davidson from Charlotte in rush hour at 5 p.m., it's going to take around 26 to 45 minutes. It is a really great neighborhood for you to consider. It's a great community. There's a lot to do in Davidson, and you definitely have that proximity to Charlotte. The median price range is quite higher than what you can find in the greater Charlotte area. However, they do have some condos and townhomes that are attractively priced still. All right, guys, one thing that we want to make sure that we keep in account before we continue moving forward is the median price range in the greater Charlotte area is going to be $347,000. So that'll be a good way to kind of judge what's affordable in the overall greater Charlotte area. All right, guys, next up on the list is going to be TKK. It's actually over in South Carolina. It's south of Charlotte, and it's right on Lake Wiley. It's definitely a lake community, a lot of places to access the lake. There's a ton of great golfing as well, and a super cool community. They also gave this one an A+ overall rating. They gave the public schools an A+ as well. Said an A+ good for families and housing as well. Now, the median price range for TKK right now is $432,000. And if we look at this home right here, it's actually over in TKK. It's 4 beds, 2.5 baths, 2,700 square feet, and it's listed right at $469,000. Now, if we look at commute time, if we leave right now, which again, we're right in midday, it's going to take about 33 minutes to get from TKK to Charlotte. If we're leaving at 8 a.m., it could take anywhere between 28 minutes and 50 minutes. So you get a little bit more traffic when you go up that 77. And also, if you leave from Charlotte going back to TKK at 5 p.m., it takes about 30 to 55 minutes. So you definitely have a little bit of congestion, and most of it's going to be right along I-77. It is still a really nice community, a great place to live, especially if you want to be close to the water, and especially if you want great schools. And not to mention, TKK itself has a lot to offer in the community with the golfing and just with everything that they have to offer there with the location. It's definitely one you want to make sure you consider. So coming up next is Cornelius. It's actually right beside Davidson. So we're north of Charlotte again. This is going to be right on Lake Norman, and this is definitely going to be a lake community. There's a lot to do there. You can go visit Hello Sailor, which is one of the highly visited restaurants that a lot of people like to go to. It's right on the water, great views, great food, great service, and a great time. So it's definitely never a miss for things to do in the Cornelius area. They got an A+ as well. They got an A for public schools, A+ for good for families as well. And the median price range in Cornelius is $469,000. And if we look at this one over on Tryon Street, this is over in Townwood Village. It's listed at $416,000. It has 2,081 square feet. It was built in 1997, 4 beds, 2.5 baths, and they have 0.37 acres. With that being said, Cornelius does drive some of the highest price points for homes in the greater Charlotte area, and a lot of them are going to be on the water on Lake Norman. There's a ton of homes that have recently sold. I mean, one over on Largo Place sold at $4.4 million. There's lots selling above $1 million price range. So you definitely have a range in Cornelius, definitely when you include the condos and townhomes in the mix. However, there's some of the highest sales you're going to find in the Charlotte area are going to be right here in the Cornelius space. As far as drive time, if we're leaving right now, it's going to take about 29 minutes to get from Cornelius to Charlotte. If you're leaving at 8 a.m., it's going to be between 24 and 35 minutes. And if you're coming back during rush hour at 5 p.m. To get to Charlotte to Cornelius, it's going to take between 24 and 40 minutes. So Cornelius is definitely a super cool town. There's a lot to do, a lot of restaurants, a lot of shopping, a big diversity of types of housing they have to offer, and also has some of the highest priced real estate in the greater Charlotte area. Number 4 on the list is going to be Marvin, North Carolina. It's southeast of Charlotte. It's actually on the border of North and South Carolina, and it's really known for the equestrian community and the equestrian culture right in that area. Now, there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of new construction that you're going to find available in Marvin, North Carolina. Niche gave it actually an A+, public schools an A+ over in Union County, right? A+ for good for families as well, and an A- for housing. The median price range in 2021 in the Marvin area is $875,000. So definitely a quite higher price range than we've seen previously. I mean, if we look at one of these homes, this one is over on Newtown Road. It's listed at $936,500. It's over in Marvin Villas, and it's a new construction home, 4 beds, 3.5 baths, 3,700 square feet, and it's actually on just shy of 1 acre. And so there's a lot of new construction in the area, a lot of gorgeous homes. And so Marvin's definitely one of those places that you'll want to check out. So how about drive time? Now, if we leave from Marvin to go to Charlotte right now, it's going to be about 32 minutes. If you're leaving at 8 a.m. on the weekdays, it's going to be between 24 and 35 minutes. If you're coming back from Charlotte at 5 p.m. and you're going to hit that rush hour traffic, you're looking between 30 minutes and 1 hour and 5 minutes. So next on the list, we're actually staying in southeast Charlotte, North Carolina, is Weddington, North Carolina, which is actually the 3rd wealthiest city in all of North Carolina. It's a very highly desirable, wonderf+ location, and a ton of exquisite and beautiful homes. If we look at niche.com, they gave it an A+. They gave the public schools an A+, for good for families, A- for housing, and the median price range in the area is $925,000. And if we look at this property over on Ridge Lake Drive, it's over in Lake Forest Preserve. It's 5,158 square feet. They're listed right now at $959,000, 5 beds, 3.5 baths, built in 2013. There's just some of the things you'll see in the Weddington area. If we look at drive time, if you leave right now to get from Weddington to Charlotte, you're going to be about 32 minutes away. If you're leaving at 8 a.m. in the morning on the weekdays, you're going to be somewhere between 26 and 45 minutes. And if you're hitting that rush hour traffic going from Charlotte to Weddington, you're going to be between 30 minutes all the way to about an hour. So Weddington's definitely a great community. It's a smaller community. It only has about 10,000 people that live there. Super great location, and there are a ton of exquisite homes in Weddington. So moving on to the next on the list is Fort Mill, South Carolina. So again, we're south of Charlotte, down in South Carolina again. In Fort Mill, you're going to be right by Lake Wylie. So there's going to be a lot of places that you're going to be able to get onto Lake Wylie, a lot of access to the lake. A great place to live. I mean, there's Baxter Village. You have a lot of walkability for shops and dining in Fort Mill. And if we look at niche.com, they gave the overall rating for Fort Mill an A+. So public schools an A+, housing an A, good for families. And it's definitely a nice community. The average price range in Fort Mill is $390,000. So definitely more attractively priced than some of the other communities that made this list. And if we look here, this one over on Crescent Moving Drive, it's over in Springview Meadows. They're currently listed at $575,000, 2,500 square feet, 3 beds, 2.5 baths, built in 2016. And it's a nice little one-story ranch home, relatively new. So you're going to be able to find it a range in Fort Mill. I mean, you have your $1 million properties, you have your properties on the lake, you're going to have your new construction, you're going to have your older homes as well. And then again, if walkability is something that's really important to you, Fort Mill does have that to offer as well. Now, as far as drive time, if we were going to go from Fort Mill to Charlotte right now, it's going to be about 27 minutes. If you're leaving at 8 a.m., getting to work in Charlotte, you're going to find yourself between 22 to a 40-minute commute. And if you're coming from Charlotte back to Fort Mill and you're hitting that rush hour traffic at 5 p.m., you're going to be around 26 to 50 minutes. So Fort Mill definitely has a lot of great aspects. They have the great schools in the area. They have a lot of dining, have a lot of shopping, and there's a ton of building that's happening right in the Fort Mill area. Next up on the list, guys, last but not least, is Matthews, North Carolina. And we actually did a video diving deep into Matthews, North Carolina. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, feel free to take a look at that video. And it'll tell you a lot of great information about Matthews, North Carolina. This town is just southeast of Charlotte. It's actually bordering right on that 45 corridor, and it has Independence Highway running right through it as well. So to be able to get around from Matthews, it's pretty easy to get from point A to point B, pretty easy to get into Charlotte and the surrounding areas from Matthews. Niche.com gave it an A+. They gave the public schools an A-. They said it was good for families as well. And it's definitely a nice little community. There's a really cool downtown area that has the walkability, has the restaurants, has the bars. And it's a nice, close-knit community. If you look at the median price range in 2021 in Matthews is $385,000. So it's definitely a little bit more attractively priced than some of the other ones that we've seen on this list. And if we look here, I mean, this one's over on Fence Post Lane. It's over in Wood Hollow. It's 1,597 square feet, 3 beds, 2 baths, and it's listed at $364,000. So you definitely have a lot of ability to get a nice property in Matthews for attractively priced when you compare to some of the other places in the great Charlotte area. If we look at the average drive times, if we leave right now from Matthews to get to Charlotte, it's going to be about 23 minutes. If you're leaving at 8 a.m., it's going to take you between 18 and 35 minutes. And if you're leaving from Charlotte, hitting that rush hour traffic again, you're going to be around 18 to 40 minutes of traffic. So Matthews is definitely one that you want to check out, take a look at. You're going to find some nice, close-knit communities. You're going to find access to all that Charlotte has to offer a breeze, and you're going to find it a really nice area. And again, I'm not biased. I do live there myself. But it's definitely a great small community. All right, guys, so that's the list of the best suburbs in the surrounding Charlotte area. If you have any particular questions on any of these communities or want some more information on them, please feel free to reach out to us. I'd love to be a resource for you. And I'd also love to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts? What suburbs do you particularly live in? And what areas do you think are best? Do you disagree with some of the ones that made this list? Do you agree with them as well? So I'd love to hear from you guys. And again, if you found value in this, please subscribe. We're going to be shooting videos, making sure we keep you up to date what's going on in the greater Charlotte area and also the overall real estate market. So guys, thank you for joining. Have a great day.